Alrighty, it's good to have you guys with me. This is Pete, Packet Lost Manglavidi. Yes, I self-named myself. I have a nickname now because I gave it to myself. No one else will, so I will. Alright, so welcome to Static Routes. This is going to be video one of probably an 8 to 10 video series. I want to talk about how we get these machines talking between the networks. So as we know, static routes are manual routes, right? The routes we enter in manually. Makes sense. And the great thing about them is on small networks, these things just work. They're quick. You tell it exactly how you want it to go, and they just seem to respond the way they need to. However, as networks start getting more complex, as we have just more and more routers and more changes, we might want to eventually move into a dynamic routing protocol, right? Protocols that share information back and forth, such as RIP. Okay, hold back the laughter. OSPF, EIGRP for the Cisco fans, and I might even slip in a little BGP if no one's watching. So we got a lot to cover. Let's get started. So what we're looking at here is 5 networks, right? 192.168.1, the 2 network, 3 network, 4 network, 5 network. You see my PCs are .2s, my default gateways are .1s. You see that we have .1 and .2s between the routers as well, between the routers themselves. Now, of course, I could have used things like a /30 to make it look a little cleaner. I could have used something like 192.168.1.z and did a /27, which would have given me 6 networks. I could have subnetted that out. A lot we could have done, but this works for us. Let's make this a little straighter. Okay. So just to prove that I've actually have some settings on these routers, I'm going to click on this router 1 here. And I'm going to do a do show IP interface brief. Remember, if I'm not in privilege mode, I can run the do command, the do beforehand to run show commands. And you'll see I do have, in fact, 3 connections. And where layer 1 status is up, layer 2 protocol is up. All right. So what I'm going to do is come to PC0 here, and I'm going to go ahead and ping my gateway. You see I've been playing earlier on this, so bam. I'm going to go ahead and ping 192.168.1.1, and you see I get a reply back. So now the question is, should I be able to ping 2.1, which is the same router, but the far side? Let's see, 192.168.2.1, and no. So you're thinking, oh, it's going to ARP. No, of course not. It's a separate network. So why is it that I can't hit that? What are you thinking off the bat? Okay, hopefully you said, what's your default gateway look like? Well, I didn't set one. So we come back over to 192.168.1.1, right? Command prompt, hit up arrow, and now, sure enough, we can ping it. So we can hit the 2.1. Can we hit router 1 at .2? What do you think? No. So what we're going to have to do now is teach these routers how to find the other routes. So I'm going to come into router 1 first. And let's do a couple things. Show IP protocols will tell me, are there any dynamic protocols set? Do I have RIP set or OSPF or EIGRP? And it says no. So now I want to see what I have set statically. So you'll show IP route, and you'll see that I have 2 directly connected networks, 1 dot and 2 dot, but I don't have any static routes yet. I haven't done them. So let's teach this router how to find networks 3, which is where PC1 is, and we need to find 5, which is where PC2 is. So I'm going to come into global configuration mode. I'm going to go, okay, IP route 192.168.3.0. And now we're going to tell it what interface is our next hop. What interface are we going out on? Well, if I'm here, or more likely here, this .2 is my way out, isn't it? It's my next way out, my next hop. So let's come over here and say, I want to go out by 192.168.2.2. We can verify that was added by doing a do show IP route. We see we have a static route there, an S. I also want to teach it how to get 192.168.5.0. And look, it's 5.0 is all the way to the right. So it's the same IP to get out, 192.168.2.2. And that's what I meant to do. And you'll notice that 2 static routes were added. So now we're going to come back to PC0 for a minute. And let's see if we can ping that 3.1. 192.168.3.2. Sorry. 3.2 is the PC. 3.1 is up here. Doesn't really matter. So the question is, can it hit it? We hit enter, and sure enough, we don't get the reply back. So the question is why? Well, we need to teach it how to get back, don't we? It doesn't help us to know how to get somewhere if we forgot how to get there in the first place. So I'm come back here to router 1. And I'm going to type in IP routes, one IP route for the routes of 1.0 and 5.0. Because those are the ones I don't know yet. 192.168.1.0. Now looking at this diagram, I want you to tell me, yes, I want you to talk out loud to yourself, what's my way out? What's my next hop? Well, to the 1.0, I'm going to jump to 192.168.2.1. So 192.168.2.1. IP route 192.168.5.0. Come over here. What's my way out? Right, .2. It's my way out to that network, 4.2. Enter. Do show IP route. And notice here we have 3 directly connected and 2 static. I guess I could have did a little right there, just in case something weird happens during this video and I have to re-enter the information in. Come over to router 2 and same business. IP route 192.168.1.0. What's my way out? Say it out loud. What's my way out for that guy? I'm going to get to 1.0 over here. Actually, technically I want to get to right here. Well, that's my way out. The 4.1, isn't it? So we're going to say, okay, 192.168.4.1. IP route 192.168.3.0. I love those 9s and 0s, don't I? I got it that time. And we're going to go ahead and go out again on 4.1. That's my way out, isn't it? My way out of the network. Uh-oh. Looks like the phones are ringing, so let me pause this video and I'll be right back. All right. So let's test this baby out. I'm going to come back over here to PC0. And let's do some pinging. Can I still ping my gateway? Sure. Move it over here for you. Can I ping the far side of that router at 2.1? Yep. Now the test. Can I ping 2.2, which is router 1? Good. It's working. And I can just kind of 2.2. Is that PC? Let's do 5.2. I wasn't expecting that, so let's see here. I wonder if I have my default gateway set up. I do not. Clearly I was testing you. Let's see if that gives anything a little difference here. Ah, there we go, and sure enough we're resolving now. See how we're on time. Should be 9 minutes or so. Good. So one more thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to come back to this router 1 and notice it only has one leg. Right? It only has one way out. Notice this router 0 here has one way out. These are called stubs. Stub, S-T-U-B. So what we can do is say this: if there's no decision to be made, if all routing has to go to the left on router 1, and all routing has to go to the right on router 2, and all the routing has to go right on router 0, we can do something like this. I'm going to go ahead and see what my routes are again. Do show IP route. So let's clear the routes up by saying no IP route 192.168.4.0. I'm trying to delete it directly connected. Don't try that. No IP route 192.168.1.0. There we go. No IP route 192.168.3.0. I'm always paranoid things are going to like turn off on me, or I'm going to click something wrong. I'm going to come back to this PC 5.2 and see if anything went, see if that actually stopped it from doing what it needs to do. I'm going to ping 192.168, look on the left side, 1.2, and of course it doesn't know how to get there. So what we can do is add in what's called a default route. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say IP route. If you don't know what it is, if you don't know what it is, nothing matches, send it to, and we know my way out on this router is 192.168.4.1. And we're just going to see something a little bit different in the static route here. To show IP now, IP route. You'll see an S with an asterisk. And notice here it says it's a candidate for default, and it's the gateway of last resort. Meaning, if it doesn't know what you're asking for, it will send it on its way to that route, 192.168.1.1, and we're working. All right, I hope that made sense for you. What we'll be doing is, as I pick up the videos, we'll be using the same diagram and clearing the routes out and start moving into things like RIP and OSPF. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.